Good morning to you, Foothills. This is Brad Schmidt, your host of the KAHI Morning News Show on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950. It is 8:45, which means, of course, it's Friday as well, so you know what that means. It's time for Dave Naves and his segment, Web in Plain English. Dave, how we doing this morning?
Hey, man, I'm feeling salty.
Good. Why is that?
Friday. You know, I'm just in a salty mood.
Okay.
I'm feeling good. I want to,
I do prefer salt over sugar.
I'm not feeling so sweet. I'm feeling kind of salty. No,
Okay.
I'm feeling good, little rambunctious. I want to say hi to everybody who listens into the radio show. I really appreciate it. All sorts of people with business, people that don't have businesses, people that do have businesses. I appreciate you listening in. As the band said, my name is Dave Naves. This show is called The Web in Plain English. My company, Dave Works, been online for over close to 25 years now, almost a quarter of a decade. Oh my God. Sounds like I'm really old. I love the web. I like helping people on the web. I like making money for people on the web. That's what I do. That's why I'm here. The website, daveworks.net. If you want to ever hear the show, this particular show, on the podcast, you can go to radio.daveworks.net. If you want to listen to it live, I'm here at KAHI Radio, AM 950, 8:45 every Friday morning. They're nice enough to let me come in and nerd all over their airways. So, today, I'm going to break away from, we were on Google Analytics for a while. I will come back to that. There's so much to talk about Google Analytics. But I thought I'd dive into some uncharted territory here. I think we're all in uncharted territory. And I wanted to go over, I'm passionate about social networking, the good and the bad. And I like to maybe dispel some myths and maybe help people who are having a hard time with social networking, specifically when it comes to people being vile, when people are just really pouring on the hate, which is going on so much right now. I thought it might be helpful to maybe help train you to maybe relax a little bit and understand how much control you have over yourself and even others. But it requires some restraint on certain. I don't know about you, Brad. Have you noticed people, the vile, the hate, the nasty slurs that have gone around?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's ever since Donald Trump, it's all directed at him. I see so much, and it's not any fact based. It's just pure. It's emotional.
Very emotional. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't necessarily. I'm going to keep this, non-biased. Is it unbiased, non-biased? This is going to be about just maybe protecting yourself and maybe giving yourself a pass, maybe giving yourself a break, maybe teach you how to listen without arguing, how to take in, the people just, I don't know how much leeway I have here on the airways. I don't want to get KAHI in trouble, but all the nasty names, and I've seen it go both ways. It's, how the hatred for Trump, the hatred for Hillary, the hatred for Bernie, the hatred for our system. And
the pipeline in North Dakota. Somebody actually made a comment about that, and I completely disagreed with it, and I said that I did, but constructively. Yeah. And they constructively returned back to me, and I actually replied to that. I was like, wow, thank you for doing that. Like I haven't had somebody constructively, properly, correctly, politely, just everything respond to me on Facebook in a long time. Like that was amazing.
Isn't that great? It's a good feeling.
I respected her more after that.
Exactly, and that's the thing. That's the number one topic. So today I'm going to go over just a few tips on how to try to remain calm, try to not block, try to not unfollow. Right? Why? Why would I say that? No, I've come across, believe me, in my training, and I do lots of training for social networking for business, but many people that I know get very emotionally involved in this, and they immediately block and unfollow. That's my right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you're right. But it's also, you know what that is? That's censorship. I am very against any form of censorship, even personal censorship. Well, it's my right, and I can't handle it. I don't need negativity in my life. Okay, I get it. I'm not suggesting that you should sit there and just let people pound on you, right, verbally. I'm just saying, if you see something that is that kind of makes your blood curl, just if you're on a phone, swipe up, right? Make it go away. You don't have to just unfollow or, and here's why. I believe that most people just want to be heard, right? people get very brave. It's unfortunate. Here's the bad part about social networking. People get too brave behind their screens, and what they start doing is they start having relationships with their computers and not with other people. And that's a danger, right? So listen, it's a free country. That's the part of what I love about this country. It's free to do what you want. You want to unfollow, that's fine. That's your personal business. But there's a danger in that too, where you only start listening to what you believe, then you stop learning, you stop growing as a person, right? So when somebody starts getting really vile, believe me, I have 30, whatever. I'm going to max out at 5,000 friends on Facebook alone. Facebook will just go over Facebook. Well, some people say, oh my God, I don't know how you do that. Well, it's part of my business. It feeds my kids. I have a lot of friends, most of whom I don't. Facebook puts its algorithm in front of me and puts stuff in front of me that I respond to. So it filters out already stuff that I like. Usually it's funny or sarcastic or, has to do with business or music. I love that stuff. So, it's already been filtered out. But what I don't do is I don't just start unfollowing people. If somebody wants to argue with me, listen, the perfect example of a democracy is arguing, right? Our country was founded on unpopular speech. Why on earth, after all that's been all that has been done, handed to us to have the freedom of speech, why do you want to squash it, right? Why are your emotions more important than the freedom of speech? Now for me, that's a personal decision. I personally don't understand why you wouldn't want to at least constructively argue. And that's the word right there, constructively. Show somebody respect, right? Even if they are calling you every name in the world, let them spew. Let them spew for a minute. Once they get it off their chest, oftentimes, and listen, I socially network probably more than most on tons of different social networks. Once they get done spewing and you let them know that they've been heard, they often calm down. And you'll find that much of what is being spewed about is just a war in semantics. Many times we're in complete agreement. Now, some people I know, some people sway left, some people sway right, some people are in the middle. But oftentimes we have so much more in common than we do, right? Than we do in our differences. I mean, we breathe the same air. We all love our kids. We all love, what we love to do. We're all passionate about it. We all, I believe, love freedom. So I think there's a danger in wanting to censor, stuff that's being said. I believe in just let people talk. And then ask them questions. Let them speak. Now, granted, there are some whack jobs out there. I'm not saying that's not. But it doesn't mean you necessarily need to unfollow. Listen, I've talked to many wackos out there and let them spew and tell me how wrong I was and call me some names. And then when I repeated back to them what they just said to me without any emotion, they calm down and they look like idiots. And they calm themselves down. It's like self-soothing for a toddler. That's
like I noticed sometimes it's a good opportunity for you or me, whoever's the recipient of the spewing, to look like the bigger person, and it's a good opportunity for you to look good, really, like if you respond correctly.
Exactly. There's
look at this guy; he can handle this jerk, and it's not a big deal to him. He doesn't care.
Right. And let that, be the bigger person. If somebody wants to call you names, okay, well, Mr. Brave Man behind your little screen and you're sitting somewhere alone in your house or whatever, hopefully not at work. You're not doing
eating Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah. There's all types, and the fact is, when you kind of let them have the floor and they start yelling enough where they realize that they do have the floor and they just are so vile, and then you repeat back to them, quote, copy and paste and quote back to them what they've done, they themselves come back. I've had many people apologize to me over the years, stuff they've said and how that, just because I treated them with respect, they understood that they were heard. And, oh man, or hey man, thanks for letting me spew on your wall, or sorry I got in an argument on your wall with somebody else and I didn't mean to. And I go, hey man, it's freedom of speech. The part that does bother me, even with friends, close friends, who people say, if you say anything negative on my wall, I will delete you. It's like, okay, well, I guess that's your personal decision. If that's what you like to do, go for it. But what I see personally is a little child going, la, 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 I'm not hearing you, I don't hear you, out of sight, out of mind, la, 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 la. Okay, well, I guess that's one way to deal with the world. If that puts you in your little, magic carpet of righteousness, okay. But if we're talking about real serious situations, real topics, only listening to people that, drink your brand of tea, maybe not a worthy cause. Maybe it's not the right thing to do. Maybe you should listen to the other side. As ridiculous and as hateful and as stupid as you might think, that their personal view may be, try to listen to what they say, because maybe, just maybe, they have a point. Maybe there is a point there, and maybe you can learn from it. I certainly have. I ask a lot of questions online. And here's another tip. Here's the business part of this. You can make a lot of money while you're doing it. You can gain customers, business people, while you're doing it. If people know, people often can tell what side of the coin you may, right, middle, left, wherever. But you show respect. You can also make customers for it. I can't tell you how many customers come in the back door of Facebook for me just because of how I conduct myself online, right? Even if I'm sarcastic, I've even had family members say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you posted that." And she's like, "Aren't you worried about customers?" And I said, "Bro, half these people on the comment threads are my customers. So I don't know what you're talking about." So I don't believe in being a different person publicly and privately. I believe in being the same person, right? People, listen, there's so much, this is the business talk. There's so much business out there. There's so many customers available. If you're just yourself, hopefully you're a good person. You're a good person. You don't spew the hate, but you can make money while you're at this. So that, anyway, I'll veer way back into the topics of...
Yeah, like if you... I think like what you were saying, when somebody says on their Facebook, no controversy or no arguing, please, like that's kind of like taking the easy way out, don't you think? Like
Absolutely.
Avoiding it. And like if somebody that doesn't do that, and if you're able to take the arguments, or and you got to sift through the people that are just being obnoxious, but the people that are, you got to take the people's opinions and arguments, think about it, and if you can apply it and update your own opinions, then I think that makes you the better person.
Isn't that what was fought for? Isn't that what so many people just died?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, people died in that cause.
I mean, there's places in the world where they don't have this, and I can list a few of those countries, and you don't want to live there.
Absolutely. You try going to some other countries. Try going to some other countries and spewing like you do here. Your freedom of speech. Here's my little patriotic theme. You have any patriotic music you can play in the background with a flag waving, me in my robe? So many people fought and died to hand you your right of freedom of speech. Why would you want that squashed? And listen, here's another thought. Here's where I go, where people say, "God, how can you listen to that person be so vile?" I say, look, if that person's right of freedom of speech, as hateful as it may be, is protected, then I know mine is. Right? Have you ever seen that movie? I love the quote on the end of the People versus Larry Flint, right? The guy who owns Hustler magazine. At the very end of it, his lawyer said to one of the members of the Supreme Court, as they were discussing, saying, "Don't you think that that's completely disgusting compared to a Johnny Carson joke?" And the lawyer said, "No, sir, because there is no difference between the two, because what you're talking about is a matter of taste and not the law. And there's a huge difference. So people that want to outlaw vile speech, well, you are putting yourself and this country in danger. Don't censor it," right? Again, arguing is a perfect proof that we do live in a democracy. So you know what? It's social media, it's conversation, it's arguing. Wear a cup. That's what I say. So anyway, I hope this has been a little helpful. Is that clock right?
That is correct.
That is correct. So I could talk about this for 3 months. I won't. Please come visit me at daveworks.net or on Facebook. You can look up DaveWorks. The radio show is AM 950 or radio.daveworks.net. If you don't have time to listen live, you don't have time Fridays, subscribe to the podcast at podcast.daveworks.net. Until next week, we'll probably go dive back, unless I have too many comments.
I like this one. This was fun.
This is a good one. If not, we'll go back into the nerdy analytics to talk about how to analyze people that have been visiting your website. But until then, Brad and Jerry, KAHI, thanks for having me. The web in plain English, my name is Dave Naves at daveworks.net. Take care.
You know I heard that boogie rhythm. Hey!
Broadcasting at 950 kilohertz since 1957. We are the voice of the foothills. AM 950, KAHI Auburn.